Okay, good afternoon. Welcome to the Thurston County Board of Health public hearing regarding Article 1 of the Thurston County Sanitary Code. It is June 14th, 2022. It is 4:41 p.m. My name is Ty Menser, Chair of the Board. Commissioner Vice Chair Gary Edwards is excused. Commissioner Carolina Mejia is present, as is County Manager Amira Chavez, Interim Director of Public Health and Social Services Kurt Harden, and Clerk of the Board of Health Jamie Caldwell. Art Starry, Environmental Health Division Director from Public Health, is present to present on this item. We are here for a public hearing to receive testimony regarding a proposed ordinance to amend Article 1 of the Sanitary Code for Thurston County, repeal ordinance number H22021, and repeal Thurston County Code Chapter 2.03. This is a hybrid hearing, and my name, we've got going through this script. I've already announced everybody. So this is a hybrid public hearing. Those wishing to testify have joined in person, by Zoom, emailed comment, or mailed in comment. If you wish to testify using Zoom, please visit the Thurston County homepage online, select announcements of public hearings on the left-hand side. The information to join this public hearing remotely has been posted there. If you do not wish to testify but would like to listen and follow along, please watch the live stream through the Thurston County YouTube channel to help us manage attendance. Art Starry will summarize the proposed amendments and any public comments received prior to this hearing. The board will then hear public testimony, beginning with people testifying in person in the room, of which we currently do not have any, and then moving to testimony from people joining via Zoom. There will be 4 minutes to testify. Time may not be given to another person, and the clerk of the board will keep track of time. Okay, public hearing is now open. Art, you have latitude to present background information, any written comments submitted, and then any questions the board may ask you for additional information.
Thank you. So I'm Art Starry. I'm the Environmental Health Division Director for Thurston County Public Health and Social Services, and I've worked on this project along with our prosecuting attorney, Jane Futterman, who's done most of the hard work on writing the ordinance to reflect what we're trying to accomplish with Article 1 amendments. So I want to thank Jane right up front. What this does is it allows us to take advantage, I guess, some things that we've learned through the COVID process about how to conduct meetings and hearings and things more efficiently. So we're wanting to take some things that have been implemented on an emergency basis and make them available all the time. And so that's what this code amendment allows us to do. So it allows us, among other things, and I'll kind of go through a quick list, it allows us to conduct more administrative hearings and administrative processes, either telephonically or virtually or electronically, however you want to describe that. Right now, our administrative code, which is what Article 1 is, it tells us when we conduct hearings, how to go about issuing notices of violations and other administrative processes that apply to most of our sanitary code issues. Right now, that code requires us to have hearings in person. And so except for emergency declarations issued by the board, we would have to do that if this when the board's emergency declaration expires, which is coming up here. It also allows us to use electronic service of documents and notices and decisions. Right now, we do a lot of things by mail, so this would make things more efficient that way if the parties give us that information on how we can reach them electronically. It gives the board the authority to extend certain deadlines during an emergency that's declared by the county commissioner. So again, if hopefully we don't have another COVID outbreak or anything like that, but in that case, if it did, it allows the board or the hearings officer to extend certain deadlines and things. It also provides some clarification on civil penalties. Those are things that we can issue if someone is in a violation and they're not complying. The Article 1 allows us to issue civil penalties, and this provides some clarity on how long those can run for before they are declared due, right? And so we've got a process in place where this would codify that. As you might know, well, as you certainly know, there's an emergency ordinance that's in effect, I believe, through the end of the month that covers some of the things that I've just described. And what this does is it repeals the board. Actually, there's the county ordinance, and there's a parallel Board of Health ordinance that allows these different COVID measures to take place. And what this does would repeal that. It would expire when the county commissioners emergency declaration expired, but this would take care of that right away. And Jane Fetterman was also smart enough to know that you have on the books right now, Thurston County Code Chapter 2.03 that talks about how the Board of Health will function. Well, because you've adopted an ordinance that will reconstitute the Board of Health at the beginning of July 1st, what this does is it repeals that existing ordinance that basically doesn't serve a purpose or won't serve a purpose after July 1st and eliminates any conflicts that might exist between those. So that's more credit to Jane Fetterman for keeping track of all of our codes and ordinances. And so those are the kind of the key points of it. Thus far, we've received no public comments. No one's phoned me, called me, emailed me. We did publish a hearing notice on May 24th and May 31st in the county paper of record. That's the Olympian. We also posted stuff on our website, and the county hearing page that you mentioned in the opening comments here has had this information posted on it for quite a while. And so people have had pretty good access to the information about this code amendment and this hearing. And thus far, we've received no comments. And I'm not really surprised that we've not received much because it is, I think, pretty straightforward. It's making sort of business improvements that people often encourage government to do. So I think it makes sense in that case. And again, I want to thank Jane Fetterman for all of her help on this stuff. She does most of our code work in environmental health. And once again, she's done a really good job, at least in my opinion. So those are my preliminary comments. If there's any questions you have, I'll be happy to try to answer them.
Commissioner Mejia.
No questions.
Commissioner Edwards has been able to join us. Commissioner, any questions for Art?
No, I don't have any questions. Good job by Art.
All right, I do not either. So let's move right to public testimony. There's no one in the boardroom. There is one name I don't recognize. Ben Kilfoyle.
Hi, my name is Ben Kilfoyle, as you can probably see. I'm actually just starting to look to get more involved in the government. Just moved to Thurston County not too long ago, so I thought I would jump in and take a look. I was really impressed, read through the whole thing the last couple days, and I really like that we're updating it. The only question that I had actually when you had the question section is on 19.7.2. I was just wondering, the wording makes it sound like the health officer would decide on a longer date of payment after having a hearing. Is that for like people with larger amounts getting like a payment plan? Otherwise, I just wanted to put it up for some thought if there was some kind of payment plan that you guys wanted to consider for that piece of it. And then my only other comment was on page 6, totally minor, but the underline stretches across the entire page at the bottom of that. Those are just 2 quick notes that I had.
Okay, thank you.
I could answer the first question, and then we could correct the other thing if need be, Bill.
Sounds good.
No.
Go for it, Art.
Yeah, so what the section that he referenced has to do with administrative hearings and civil penalties. And what the current code says that we have, the hearing officer is supposed to require that the civil penalties be paid within 10 days. And that's actually asking, I think, a lot for some folks. The civil penalties can accumulate up to $14,000. And so I think some of the best off people might have a struggle to get $14,000 and pay that within 10 days. So the deadline is extended to 30 days typically, and the hearing officer then has the ability to extend that even further if they believe that there's some reason to support that. So that's the intent behind that section.
Okay, thank you. That mitigates what I was thinking of, so perfect.
Okay, very good. That is the end of public comment. Any discussion the board would like to have before I ask to move to close the public hearing? Commissioner Mejia, anything?
No, sir.
Commissioner Edwards?
No, got it covered. Thanks.
Okay. Is there a motion to close public hearing?
I would move to close the public hearing.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to close public hearing, and I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards? Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye, the motion passes. And our hearing is closed. Is there a motion regarding the proposed ordinance?
I would move to approve ordinance H1 2022 to amend Article 1, general provisions of the Thurston County Sanitary Code.
And I would second that.
A motion's been made and seconded to approve the ordinance H1 2022. Any further discussion on this motion from the board? Commissioner Mejia?
No, sir.
Commissioner Edwards?
The only thing I might add is that it was brought out that there was.
Is Commissioner Edwards coming clearly on your end? Because I cannot.
No, your feed is stretching out and then faded out completely. We can certainly, Art can certainly correct the Scrivener's issue that was identified by the,
Error in some of the printing or something on one issue. Thank you.
yeah, I guess there was an underline that was, that Art can get, we can get that fixed, I think, within the context of this motion. So I'll call for the vote.
Commissioner Mejia?
Aye.
Commissioner Edwards?
Aye.
Commissioner Menzer?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0. This is approved and we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.